Good morning, everybody. Richard, welcome to the inaugural broadcast of Jersey Talk Radio.
Here we go.
Here we go. Starting
Something,
a new era in broadcasting.
that's right, something we've been waiting for a while.
I'd like to welcome all our viewers and listeners around the world. We are live on the internet from historic Fleminton, New Jersey on Main Street. This is Hunterdon County, west central New Jersey, not too far from the Pennsylvania border and the Delaware River in the mid-Atlantic region of the United States. So welcome. Thanks for being with us. This is a historic moment. This is the kickoff of New Jersey's first internet radio and television station.
And we're sitting right out in front of our studio here at 127 Main, which is the Fleminton Car and Truck Country Broadcast Center.
Sponsored by our friends at Fleminton Car and Truck Country.
That's right.
Who, one of the largest dealers in the region and one of the most well-respected. Yeah, you can see the studios right behind us here. We have a glass front studio for most of our talk radio shows, so people will be able to watch us and join in. And this is really the culmination of a number of years of technological evolution. You and I have been watching this. We've been involved in media broadcasting for all of our careers. Probably between the two of us, we're literally getting close to maybe 100 years of experience between us.
Yeah, we're getting old.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But the neat thing is the changes that we have seen taking place in media and broadcasting, and obviously the number one change is why we're here broadcasting, and that's the internet.
Exactly.
And the internet allows us to broadcast in full HD worldwide, and just give you an idea what the scene's like here. But we're broadcasting in full HD and simulcasting on the radio. And the neat thing is that our listeners, if they so choose, can watch us on their cell phones, on their iPads, on their handheld devices. They can listen to us wherever they want to. And we also archive everything, which is a big change because now folks can listen when they want to, where they want to.
Exactly. And did we mention it was Jersey Talk Radio?
Well, we need to mention that if we haven't. It's Jersey Talk Radio and Jersey Talk Television, but it can all be accessed through a common Jersey Talk Radio. And Rich, I think our tagline is obviously something that we try to make catchy for people to remember, but it also alludes to the change in the way people view media and also the technology allows it to. And our tagline is what? And that means that if you want to just listen to the shows, and most of our shows are going to be oriented, unless, of course, it's one of our sportscasts or something that's very visual, most of our shows will be just as entertaining and valuable to our listeners and viewers, to our audience, if they're just going to listen to it in the car or streaming with an earphone on or, riding the lawn tractor and listening to one of our interviews. So it's interesting that the distinction between a radio show and a television show is pretty much going away, as is the fact there's really no television per se anymore. It's mostly a computer that can receive video, and so you really don't have a separate appliance. All right.
That's it. But that's, I think there are more and more people doing that. We're adjusting our sound.
Yeah, that's fine.
This is all. We're sitting right out here in the street. This is the Flemington Street Fair today on October 25th, 2015.
Well, one of the changes in what we do in this network is one of the reasons we've been able to do this and bring this to people and advertisers and listeners and viewers and so forth is because the relative cost for the equipment has come down by hundreds of thousands of dollars. And unfortunately, I say unfortunately because I'm in the business, the personnel needed to run this operation and run a broadcast has concurrently gone to next to nil. I mean, literally, we're hosting the show. We're talking on the air, and I'm also switching the program as well as running the audio. And basically, it's a one-man band.
It really is. Bruce basically set everything up this morning, while I schmoozed with all the people around us.
Well, I think he did more than that. But the neat thing is that all this equipment to do a multi-camera HD broadcast can literally fit into a full-size sedan.
Sure.
And a couple of people can run it properly and do a broadcast show.
Yeah, it's amazing because I can remember a few years ago when I was working with an FM radio station, and all the equipment needed just to do a broadcast like this.
Oh,
it was a van filled with equipment. And
well,
you had to get out to the tower, and you had to,
Well, I worked in network sports.
Sure.
Of course, these were 6-camera shows, certainly very high quality because they were for the NFL or Major League Baseball or whatever. But, a $6 or $7 million semi with a separate support tractor trailer,
sure,
which carried equipment, and we had literally 20 or 30 people on the crew to do a sports broadcast. However, I have to tell you that our sports broadcasts are certainly not going to be poor quality. They're going to be worth watching for sports enthusiasts. And the technical quality will be every bit as good. It's full HD. So there's no compromise there. It's changing the world because from our perspective, one of the things that's, I've watched in 40 years that I've been in broadcasting, we've watched the local community broadcasting disappear because of the cost associated with it and the change in the marketplace. You really don't have local AM radio stations like you used to. You don't have a local FM because it's just too expensive to maintain a brick and mortar building. And the technology has gotten to the point where you're going to see fewer and fewer AM and FM radios sold generally, and certainly a lot less in cars because people are getting streaming and that capability.
Exactly.
Between Sirius XM, Pandora, and the streaming influence, people just are not going to flock to AM and FM radio. And to a great extent, they're their own worst enemies because you've gotten syndicated shows on a lot of stations because it's cheaper. And, on AM, you can go across the country and listen to Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity all across the country. So there's no variation between the local market and a national show. And people really want to find out what's going on in their community, what's relevant to them. And that's a big piece of the puzzle that's missing in our society today.
And that's what we're going to be doing here, even though we are going to be broadcast throughout the world.
Absolutely. And it's interesting because it's just as valuable and relevant around the world as it is across the street.
But we will be doing a lot of community broadcasting.
Well, that's going to be a major component of what we're doing. We'll take a look down the street here. You can see there are a lot of vendors here today. I imagine there's 50 or 60 vendor tents at least because this goes all the way down.
A lot of food vendors.
A lot of food. So if you're anywhere in the West Jersey area, the sun is now breaking through. Yep. It's a nice day. It's not oppressively hot or cold and rainy. It's really starting to clear up, and come on down. It doesn't cost anything to park your car and take a walk around.
Come see us, and we'll put you on the radio.
Absolutely. We want to interview some of the folks that are coming here.
We ought to try to get that witch.
There's a witch across the street.
Yeah. If I can get
I imagine there's more than one witch here today, but I don't think I'm qualified to make that distinction. So let's...
I'm trying to get her attention, but she's not looking at me.
No, we'll catch her later, though.
The way it is with most women.
Exactly. Yeah. And you have that effect on women.
She's not looking at me. She's going the other way.
That's right. Well, we're going to get a shot of our witch here in a minute.
Yeah.
And we'll see whether she's willing to come across the street
for us.
I'm
trying to get her attention. If I may have to leave you for a second.
You might have to do that.
Yeah.
And let's see, you can't get her attention.
Well, you got her on the camera.
Which is it, There's a lot of neat stuff going on here for kids, too. So if you want to bring the kids out today and get us some fresh air.
This goes on until 4 o'clock.
4 p.m. So you got 4 or 5 hours. If you got other things to do and want to take a ride down to Fleminton later or a ride up from Fleminton, if you're in the Philadelphia area, it's only about a
I'm gonna slip
45-minute ride.
She's ignoring me completely.
And Rich is going to leave us now, and we'll see what he does here. Going to go over and see if he can bring her over. A little bit about Rich Gerstner's background. He spent 20 years with Newsweek magazine in the city in New York, and was actually
We have you on camera.
he was a.
Cool.
Here you go. This is your mic.
Awesome.
We'll talk about that in a minute here. Just hold on.
Hi.
Hold on there, dear. We'll get you on camera.
This will be on YouTube.
Okay.
And have a seat there,
Awesome.
Richard.
Okay, I'm
Hold on.
back. I got her over here.
Yeah, you did.
Now, do we have her on camera?
Not yet. We're working on it.
You wanted to turn that way?
No, she can talk to us.
No, you're okay.
I'm good?
Okay.
I hear you.
Awesome.
You're on the mic.
Okay.
Cool.
All
Here
set.
we go. And your name is?
My name is Kristen Blossom, but today I am a young Professor McGonagall
Okay.
from Harry Potter.
From Harry Potter. You know, I have to confess, I don't know, have you read any Harry Potter?
No, but I did meet the gentleman who was the star of Harry Potter.
Daniel Radcliffe?
Daniel Radcliffe
Really?
was on a show I am on the production crew for Food Network. He was a guest on there a couple months ago. Yeah. So we got to meet him.
Cool.
So he was very nice.
Awesome.
He's from New Zealand, right?
I have no idea.
I think
I
so.
know he's short.
He's very short.
That's all I know
He's
about him.
4 feet tall. He's a very
You know,
short young man.
what's funny is most actors were short. And people don't realize that. Alan Ladd, they had women standing in trenches with him higher so that they were eye to eye. Anyway,
Lots of illusion.
why are you dressed that way?
I am dressed this way to promote, we're giving away free music lessons and acting lessons
Okay,
at the Hunterton Academy of the Arts University, which is probably like a couple minutes from here. I'm the acting teacher there.
Oh, you're the acting teacher.
Yes, I am. So we have a raffle that we're doing, and we have the sorting hat here, so people can get sorted into their houses. This little
nice.
thing is moving.
And how long have you been an actor?
Oh my gosh. Probably, I guess since I was a teenager.
And are there any productions you were in that we might know?
No.
Okay. But that's okay.
Well, I've performed at Pax Amicus, which is a theater here in New Jersey. I just finished grad school in Florida.
Where in
It's the
Florida?
Oslo Rep Theater in Sarasota.
Okay.
Very nice.
So I was in a production there, 2 productions there, Grapes of Wrath and Romeo and Juliet. So that was fun.
And you didn't play Romeo, though?
I was Juliet.
Oh, really?
What's the matter with you?
I don't know. I couldn't.
Jeez.
Yes. So that was very fun.
So I know you're promoting your school, but what are your long-term goals?
My long-term
Would you
goal.
like to be on Broadway, or would you like to be in film?
Well, I'm currently auditioning in the city for Broadway shows and off-Broadway productions. I just got back to the New York, New Jersey area a couple months ago because I was teaching in Florida for a while. I love teaching. I love teaching acting. I love teaching kids. Kids are the most hysterical species in the world. So they always make me laugh. That's why I like to teach
And
them.
creative, too.
Very creative.
Because people haven't blocked their minds.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
And they come up with stuff.
Fresh, crazy ideas that are just so brilliant that takes adults like months and months to come up with, and a little kid's like, this is great, this is the best idea ever, and you're like, yeah, that was a really good idea.
Is there any certain kind of role that you would like to play?
I like to be funny. I love when people laugh at the things that I say.
So you'd like to do comedy?
Yeah. It's a really great feeling when people laugh.
An old friend of mine, Dan Florick, who was on the New York.
I'm not going to help you out of this
It
one.
just
So
went out of my mind as usual.
the clock's running.
I know, and as soon as you say that, I used to know him before he did a lot of work, and all he used to say is, "I want to just be one of those bad cowboys that people just shoot up."
Oh my gosh.
But
That's a
he's
goal.
Well, so do I.
But Dan was in the Flintstone movie. He played Mr. Fred Flintstone's boss.
The boss.
Fred.
Wow.
Mr. Slate Rock or something.
Cool.
Mr. Bedrock, I think.
Was it Bedrock?
Yes,
Cool.
Anyway, he also is in Law and Order. That's what I was thinking of. He was on Law and Order. He was on Law and Order. He's
That's
done a lot
awesome.
of roles where he looks like a lawyer. So he's played a lot of roles where he's a lawyer.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
But I think you look like you could do comedy quite well.
Thank you. Very.
What is your ultimate goal? I mean,
My
would you like to
ultimate
be on stage doing comedy, or in a sitcom, or doing stand-up?
So
or...
I've thought about this quite a bit, actually, and I just love the art of acting. I don't care if it's on stage. I don't care if it's a film. But I do care if it's good work, like if it's a good piece, if it's a good production. Because there's a lot of bad stuff out there that's just like,
Yeah, but what would you do if you...
Cat Stevens said that in a song. There's a lot of bad out there.
Yeah.
I digress.
What would you do if you were... Because I've often thought about this. If you were cast into a movie, and as you're working, you suddenly realize this is going to be
sucks.
terrible. Yeah,
Yeah.
this sucks.
I don't know. I guess it depends on...
How hungry you are, right?
And how much they're paying you.
Well, once you agree to do something, you have to do it.
Yeah.
You know, once you sign on something.
Because
you know.
if you don't,
Exactly, you can't
you're going
just
to build
be
a reputation. Nobody's
Yeah.
going to want you.
Yeah,
But-
but you can be particular when auditioning for something like, this is like...
I've
you know.
often... What's really funny is I've often watched... I kind of like crappy old movies, you know? But I've often watched and thought, wonder what these people are saying. I want to get this over with because I want to go on and do something better.
Yeah, I mean, but you could do your best work in something that is crappy, you know,
True.
like you
and
could...
there are people that shine.
Exactly.
I think you're in the right profession right now because so many markets are opening up to actors. With all the cable and all the stuff, there's a lot to do.
Oh, yeah, and especially in New York, a lot of people are filming there now,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
And if, there's nothing wrong if you want to just stay here and teach.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I love teaching. I never want to stop teaching. You know, I get such enjoyment out of it, and it's very satisfying, so.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for being with us.
Here's
No
my
problem.
card, so maybe you can come on a show with us later, another time. Drop me an email. Okay.
Thank you.
Take care. Well,
And we're going to go off the air here for a minute and do
Okay.
some testing and checking,
Okay.
and we'll be back in just a minute here on Jersey Talk Radio. So don't go away. We'll be right back. Don't touch that mouse.
well, that was okay.